This is going to be a quick review of the Nike Sports Watch GPS. I just recently bought this a few days ago, and I'd like to go over the linking functions, linking the heart rate monitor and linking the shoe pod. Alright, so the watch that I got is just the watch without any sensors. It didn't come with the Polar Wear Link or the shoe pod. I already had the shoe pod, actually for almost 2 years now. The watch itself was $150, and this one here is what they call anthracite blue glow. Alright, so to use the heart rate option, you have to have one of these. This is the Polar Wear Link Nike Plus heart rate sensor. And if you want to make it even more accurate, you also use the shoe pod. You don't have to. You can use one or the other. You don't have to wear them together. According to the Nike site, though, wearing them both in conjunction just improves the accuracy. Alright, so let's do the sensor. In order to get the sensor to read on the watch, you have to wear it first. When you put it on, there's a little rubber strip on the back with the electrodes in it, mainly 2 little electrodes here. So they say you're supposed to put a little bit of water on it and then you put it on your chest. So I'll do that in a minute. And as far as the shoe pod goes, that goes inside your shoe, and then you have to turn on the shoe pod sensor on the watch, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so let's do the heart rate sensor now. I'm going to put this heart rate sensor on, and then I'll be back with you in 1 second. I'll show you how to link it to the watch. I just put on the heart rate sensor. There you go. Just wrap it right around you at your chest, or just below the chest actually. So that's there. I'm going to link it to the watch now. So we have 3 buttons on the side of the watch here. We have this blue one, which is the select button, and then there's an up and down toggle. So I'll just press one of the toggle buttons here, the lower one. It's already on run, so I'm going to select run. And now it's giving me a couple of options. GPS is on, shoe pod is off, heart rate is off, and then below that it says options. We're going to go to heart rate and select, and all that does is turn it on or off. Those are your options. It's on now. I go down to options, and it's giving me the choices between laps. I can turn those on and off, intervals on and off, or new sensor. Let's go to the new sensor. So we get that going. Looking for sensor, and sensor found. That's the heart rate sensor. Now I go down to done. What does continue do? I forget. Linking sensors. Linking. It's linking the GPS, and it's linking the heart rate monitor, and now it's telling me that it's ready to go run. When I press the start button, well, let's just do that now. There are 2 windows we're looking at here, and via the Nike site you can customize the display. Here's the shoe pod, and I have an older pod. This thing's about 2 years old. It's the first one I ever bought since I started the Nike Plus thing, and it's still working. What I'm going to do now, I'll put this into my shoe. I just happen to have a Nike Plus shoe. I have an Air Pegasus 28, so I'll put that in the shoe right now. Here's the shoe. This is a Live Strong shoe. Okay, to put the shoe pod in, you just take out the sole. Take it all the way out. Expose the hole down there. Shoe pod goes in here. Okay, and let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the GPS off. And I'll go down to shoe pod, turn that on. I'll go down to continue. And it's going to say linking sensors. Linking sensors. Walk around. Let's walk around. Alright, I found it. Okay, it's linked. You know how I know it's linked? Because it said linked, but also up in the top right corner of the screen there, you see there's a heart, and then there's a shoe next to it, and they're both blacked out, which means they're linked. Then I can go down into the history of my runs, and it records, I think, 50 runs before it deletes them again. My record has a stopwatch, which is a new feature on the newer models of this particular watch. Go back up to clock. There's that. And on the clock function, you can actually set the time on here, set the date, set alarm, and then done. So you can do it this way manually, or you can just plug the watch into the computer, and you can set all your preferences and adjust the time and invert the screen via the Nike website. And I'll show you how that works now. So wearing the watch is actually very comfortable. As bulky as it might look, it's fairly light. Not as light as a normal watch, but anyway, it's pretty good. You can run with it. You can deal with it. And I don't have super huge wrists, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. I've run with it a couple times now, and it doesn't slide around. There's no movement in it, and it's very secure. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I took the watch off is I'll expose the USB plug, which is in the back of the watch here. Alright, so you flip this thing open. See what's happening there? Just flip that open there. So you can plug it into the GPS straight like this, or you can use the supplied cable. What happens when you plug in the watch, a little side note, I've already set up the Nike Connect, and you can just do that right off their site. It's pretty user friendly, it's pretty easy. So what it was doing, it was uploading the information here, and this is the main bar. And if you want to change the time and the display, like I was saying earlier, you open it up. You have a profile, which is just your username, your weight, miles, if you prefer miles over kilometers, birth date, so on. You can set your date and time. You can either manually set it, or you can do it by the computer. You can use a 24-hour format. There's that. Customize it. So you can change the screens, like I was saying. If you want to change the upper and the lower window, mine on the lower I have it set to distance, and on the upper you can scroll through it and it'll tell you whatever it is you want to see, whether it's pace or heart rate or speed or whatever. And then you have the invert screen option down here. So it's either white on black like this, or black on white, and then this is white on black. Your preference, run reminders on or off. I don't have them selected. And laps and intervals. I haven't gotten into that feature yet. I'm sure it's pretty cool, and I'll experiment with it later, but for now I just want to use the watch for the GPS function mainly. Alright, so that is that. I'm going to close this up, and I'll open up the Nike. Where's that? There you go. So this is the new and improved Nike site, the Nike Plus site. Nice to see you again too. It's telling me I had 2 runs today, and well, I didn't. So I'll close that up. What is very cool about this particular feature that I didn't have before I just used to run with an iPod Nano, and it would, keep track of your time, and it showed you some kind of a graph of pace, which was great. This one though, I did a run yesterday. Let me click on this here. So see what's going on here. We got a map. It's drawing the course that I ran yesterday. And then on the lower part of the screen here, it's showing me pace, elevation, and heart rate. So that's pretty cool to see. A lot of good stuff here. So you have your map here, which is showing you your pace. So the green part is the fastest part of the run, and then as you get yellowish to red, it's slower. You got some hills coming up here. A little bit downhill, hill again, downhill, down, 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 hill, 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 back downhill. Alright, so my fastest part of the run was starting, slowest part was over here somewhere, just short of 3 miles. So now we're just looking at a regular, like a Google map or something. If you want to see the GPS map, you just click on satellite and it shows you that. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. And then when you scroll down a little bit, it's showing me you can make notes here. So there's a window you click on, and if you want to put in whatever notes, where you ran and so on, do that there. However you felt, good, bad, excellent, what kind of terrain you ran on, roads, dirt, what time of day, whether it was an intense workout or light or so on, and which shoe you ran with. And then it breaks down the mileage. This run, the last run, was just over 4 miles. It was 4.18 or something like that. The one downfall, I guess, is that it won't read anything over an actual mile. So you have 1 mile, 2, 3, 4 miles. It gives me my splits and my time, but it doesn't go beyond the extra 4 miles. Alright, so I mean, if you can live with that, then I guess it's not a big deal. But anyway, so there's that.